Mateo probably getting closer to talking about going out at some point. There's some baseball activities starting. Again, we told you in the beginning it wasn't super serious. There was a problem. We're taking care of the problem. My guess is in the near future he'll be out playing some ball. Tio, similar too, right? What's today? Today's Friday. My guess is, we could see him out on a rehab assignment possibly by Tuesday somewhere, maybe a tick earlier if all goes well. As we've also discussed, things happen. So there things kind of come off schedule at times, but if all goes well, we'll see him start to play some ball soon.
You're in the midst of 16 straight games. Have you changed the team's regimen at all during this stretch?
We weren't on the field at all in Tampa where we just were. It was hot. It was like playing in the jungle for a week. So, these guys got smoked there. We didn't go on the field. We didn't take BP after the first day to try to save some energy. Today we're going to be on the field today. We got 2 day games. We got an 11:30. It's going to be tough. And then we go back to Baltimore. It's going to be 100. Somebody told me today it's 103 in Baltimore, possibly on Tuesday. So it's going to be hard to put them on the field that day. We just need to get ourselves ready to play well.
Is there anything new on Suarez?
Nothing new that I have that has come my way.
Has Grayson thrown his bullpen session yet this week?
Again, I haven't been in those conversations about Grayson. So the 2 guys that we talked about, Mateo and Tio, I was in a conversation earlier, and that's why I have the information on them. But my assumption with those guys would be that they're on schedule, whatever the schedule originally was.
The lineup construction today, how much of that was late night, giving guys a day after a tough series, and how much was it max-free consideration?
Both, all the above. There's a couple guys that aren't playing today that were max-free consideration, and there are a couple guys that we thought we were going to have to scrape off the grass last night after playing 4 games in Tampa and kind of what they looked like. Gunnar being one, to be honest with you. Gunnar scored a run late in the game, and when he's walking back to the plate, I thought we were going to have to scrape him off the grass. He plays so hard. Gunnar doesn't have the ability to not do anything less than 100%. So you start thinking about guys, and being a shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles and what that means and what playing every day looks like. Gunn's not at that point yet where you can tell Gunn, certain times to take it a little bit easier. Not that that's what the other guy did, because I'm sure he didn't either, but Gunn is just so 150% in everything he does. We have to take care of him, and today's kind of a day. But if we're in this game and we get to that point and some of those righties come in, he's going to be ready to roll.
Baker, obviously seen Fried a few times. What makes him just a tough matchup, and what challenges does he present?
Yeah, I think it's a 1.9 ERA right now. He hammers the inside part of the plate against righties. Most pitchers in the big leagues right now can't command the inner half against either side. He's got great stuff, off-speed stuff. There's velocity. There's fearlessness. My understanding, talking to Frenchie, there's impeccable preparation for the guy who had him in Atlanta. So, this is definitely one of the toughest matchups in the big leagues right now.
Baker goes 3 days in a row. What have you seen in his makeup to give you that kind of confidence in him?
He wants it. It's he's a guy that, to be honest with you, we're not trying to wear him out. We know that when this guy pitches day after day after day, like most pitchers, his stuff will tick down a little bit. We're aware of that. So we're trying to win every game we possibly can because of the situation we're in, the hole that we've dug. We got to try to win every game. And we're also trying to be mindful that it's still the middle of June, and if we roll off 5 or 6 in a row somewhere, the conversation around us really changes. So we can't limit ourselves, to July or put ourselves in a bad spot in July because we wear somebody out now. But in the situation we were in last night, we needed to win that game. So, he came out and helped us win it.
What have you seen from Gunnar at the plate that's made him look a lot more like himself really here in the month of June? And do you think that the power and the home runs is something that's going to follow?
Yeah, the power and the home runs are going to pop here at some point. And when it does, it's going to be explosive. So, they're working hard in the cage. I talked to Ashley a lot about him. Ashley's done a great job with him. Gunnar is 23 years old, right? You're, I guess, 3-ish in the big leagues or 3+. The league's adjusting to him. Things change year to year. He showed me a ton of maturity right now. You look up at the scoreboard, he's having a good year. He's having a good year and he hasn't even been himself yet. And that's the crazy part. So at some point, he's really going to become himself, and it's going to look really nice up on the scoreboard when he gets to that point.
Savannah got the 5 days, I think, off.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind?
We understand coming from Japan how the rotation kind of works there. We're trying to do the best we can to keep him fresh and healthy to give us a chance down the stretch. So he's pitched on regular rest, I think 3 or 4 times this year already. We're trying to be smart about it. Frenchie, the pitching crew, the medical side, the front office, everybody's very in tune with trying to make Tomo the best he can be.